Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Well, dear students, today we have a topic of grammar, that is the subject of today, and that is the verb. Well, dear students, we know that a verb is basically an action word, and I'm saying that although broadly speaking the verb has two types, an action verb and the auxiliary verb, but as today we are going to explore the action verbs, so I'm going to talk solely on the action verbs. So that we may define verb as an action word, and it means that all those words which show an action, they are termed as the verbs, like go or sleep or give or whatever. So this is it. Now we are going to see the kinds of verbs. Dear students, we may have kinds of verbs according to so many situations, but actually today we are going to explore the kinds of verb according to the function they perform. So in that way, we have the first type, that is the kinds of verb according to their function, because this is actually the part of our topic today. First of all, we have the transitive verbs, and a transitive verb can be defined as uh, a verb. A transitive verb has a noun that receives the action of the verb. That means we need to have, as we are saying, a noun that receives the action. That means, in other words, that we need to have uh, an object to receive it. For example, if we say Ali raises his hand, so here we see that this is the verb and it receives, this is the object which receives this action, so that is going to be a case of transitive verb. Or we say Ahmed eats an apple. So here the word eats is the verb, and as there is a proper object or a noun that is going to receive this action, so these two actually are the objects, and these two verbs thereby become the cases of the transitive verb. So that is how the transitive verb can be used in a sentence. Now, dear students, the second type of verb here is the case of intransitive verb, and an intransitive verb never has a direct or indirect object. So there we, in the case of transitive verb, we needed a noun to receive the action, but here we do not have, as we have said, never has a direct or the indirect object. For example, we say the woman sleeps. So here you may see this is an empty place, so we do not have an object here at all. So if the verb starts with the subject only, that is always going to be the case of intransitive verb. Another example can be he died in an accident. So again, this is the verb here, but we do not have the proper object in that case as well. So dear students, by understanding this we may come to know that a transitive verb will always have an object, and it will be the action will be transferred to the object. And in case of intransitive verb, we will never have a direct or an indirect object. Okay, dear students, now let us see another type of verb, that is called the finite verb. And by finite verb, actually we mean those verbs which can change their forms in accordance with the subject. And we may also define that it actually defines the time as well, like the present or past. For example, if I say I eat an apple, but dear students, if I'm going to change this subject I into he, even in the present, I will write he eats an apple. So the form of the verb has changed according to the subject. And both of these definitely they are actually telling us about the time as well. Both represent the present time. So when we use the verb, or the verb which are used in such a way that they are changing their forms with respect to their subjects, definitely they are called the finite verb. Another example can be this is the action verb. We may have an example from the auxiliary verbs as well. I am a student. But if I write he, obviously this am will be changed into is. He is a student. So these two are the finite verbs, as they are changing their forms, different words according to their subjects. So that is how the finite verb has a connection with the subject. Okay, the second type of sentence in this regard is, we have already done with the finite. Now we have the case of infinite verb. Well, dear students, an infinite verb is basically a verb which has the word to before it. It is also called the base form of the verb, like to see, to go, and so on and so forth. We may take another example. It shows an explanation. We may say it shows infinite action when it is used in the beginning of the sentence. For example, we may say to see is to believe, or to be weak is miserable. So we may see that the word to has been added to the first form of the verb, and that is actually the case of infinite verb. Here again we may have this, and actually that shows infinite actions when they are coming right at the start of the sentence. So that is how, dear students, you need to understand that if to plus first form of the verb is coming together, that should be taken as the infinite verb, or you may say infinitives as well. So infinitives, that is also their name. We may use it synonymously for the infinite verbs. Okay, dear students, after the verbs, we come to the second part of our today's lecture, and that is about the denotation and connotations. Actually, dear students, we need to know that words have two layers of meaning. The very first is denotation, and that is actually the literal meaning or the dictionary meaning of the word. And the second is connotation, which means the emotional or cultural meaning. And if we want to use the language effectively, and we want to be precise in our communication and literary analysis, we must have understanding of both of them. That is quite essential. Otherwise, we may not be able to understand the deeper meanings of the words. So, let us start with the denotation first. As I have already said, denotation refers to the literal or the dictionary definition. And basically it's an objective kind of meaning, and it is not influenced by the emotional, cultural, or the situational influence. So it is actually denotation is universally understood meaning, and it should not be influenced by the personal feeling. And the use of denotations, actually, that is in formal, technical, or the scientific context. For example, if we say the word snake, well, we may say the denotation is a long, legless reptile. So obviously, we may not argue anybody if somebody is giving us the meaning of snake as a long, legless reptile. Another example can be rose. Rose is basically a type of flowering plant with thorny stem. So, both these words, snake and rose, have been literally defined as snake, a long legless reptile, and rose, that is a type of flower or flowering plant that has thorny stems. So, this is how the word is used as denotation, or denotative meanings have been there. Now, let us explore what is connotation. So, connotation actually refers to the emotional, cultural, or social associations to the word. And actually, that means a word carries beyond its literal meaning. Well, these associations can be positive, can be negative, or sometimes even neutral. And the characteristics of connotations are that it is influenced by culture, it is influenced by society, or even the individual experiences, and it varies depending on the context. And it is often used in literature, persuasive writing, and everyday speech to create mood or the tone. So, if we want to use the word snake in connotation, how will that be? Well, the word snake may carry connotations of, in literature, it may have the meaning of uh, deceit, it may have the meaning of betrayal, or sometimes even danger as well. So, these three words can be used synonymously for the snake, but that will be the uh, connotative use of the word snake actually. So that is how. So, dear students, that is how we use the word in connotation or denotation. For example, I have another word that is cheap. Well, in denotation, it means low in price. For example, we say this is a cheap car. So simply mean that this car does not have a high price, it is low priced car. But in case of connotation, we may say something like inferior or poor quality. The word cheap can also mean the same thing. For example, if we say he is a cheap fellow, definitely we do not mean that there is no context of price here. That means he is an inferior, or the quality of his character is not that very good. So the same word, the word cheap, we have used it in terms of denotation, giving us the literal meaning, but here we have a shaded meaning, and that is how we use the words in connotations. So I hope that by understanding these examples and the material that I have provided, you will be able to understand what is meant by denotation and connotations, and you should always revise the grammar portion, as today we have studied, or we have tried to explore the meanings of verbs, especially the action verbs, transitive and intransitive, and finite and infinite verbs. So inshallah, I'll see you in the next class with chapter number 6.